For more than 4,000 years, the pyramids of Egypt have stood as one of the greatest mysteries in human history, rising out of the desert with astonishing size and precision. These ancient structures continue to amaze scientists, engineers, and historians around the world. The most famous of them all, the Great Pyramid of Giza, was built over 4,500 years ago. Yet it remains one of the most perfectly constructed structures ever created by humans. But this raises a fascinating question. How did an ancient civilization, without modern machines, cranes, or advanced technology, manage to build such massive monuments? Were they built by slaves, as many people believe? Did ancient Egyptians possess lost technology that we no longer understand? Or was it simply the result of extraordinary human ingenuity and organization? Today, we're going to explore the truth behind one of the greatest engineering achievements in history. This is the story of how the pyramids of Egypt were really built, the beginning of pyramid construction. The history of pyramid building began more than 4,600 years ago, during the reign of the Egyptian pharaoh Djoser. Before this time, Egyptian kings were buried in rectangular tombs known as mastabas. These tombs were simple structures made from mud bricks and stone. But Djoser wanted something far more impressive, a monument that would symbolize his power and ensure his place among the gods in the afterlife. To achieve this, he turned to his brilliant architect, Imhotep. Imhotep designed a revolutionary structure known as the Step Pyramid of Saqqara. Instead of a single flat tomb, he stacked several mastabas on top of each other, forming a pyramid-like shape that rose high into the sky. This became the first large stone structure ever built in human history. And it marked the beginning of Egypt's pyramid-building era, the greatest pyramid ever built over the next centuries. Egyptian engineers refined pyramid construction techniques. Their designs eventually led to the creation of the most famous pyramid of them all, the Great Pyramid. This monumental structure was built for the pharaoh Khufu around 2560 BC. The Great Pyramid is truly astonishing in scale. Originally, it stood about 146 meters tall, making it the tallest man-made structure on Earth for nearly 3,800 years. To build it, the Egyptians used an estimated 2.3 million stone blocks. Some of these blocks weighed between 2 and 15 tons each. In total, the pyramid weighs around 6 million tons. Even with modern equipment, constructing something of this size would be a massive challenge. So how did ancient Egyptians manage it? The truth about the workers. For many years, people believed the pyramids were built by slaves. Movies and stories often show thousands of enslaved workers forced to haul giant stones across the desert. But modern archaeological discoveries tell a very different story. Near the pyramids, archaeologists uncovered entire workers' villages, complete with houses, bakeries, food storage areas, and even medical facilities. These findings suggest that pyramid builders were skilled laborers and organized workers, not slaves. Many historians now believe that these workers were farmers who worked on pyramid construction during the annual flooding of the Nile River. During this time, their farms were underwater, so they joined large government construction projects like pyramid building. These workers were likely fed, housed, and organized into teams. In fact, some teams even had names like Friends of Khufu, quarrying the stone. To build a pyramid, the Egyptians needed enormous amounts of stone. Most of the pyramid blocks were made from limestone, which was quarried locally near the Giza plateau. Workers used copper tools, stone hammers, and wooden wedges to cut blocks directly from the rock. However, some of the most important stones came from far away. The granite used for the inner chambers of the Great Pyramid came from Aswan, more than 800 kilometers away. Transporting these massive stones was a huge logistical challenge. Moving the giant stones. One of the greatest mysteries surrounding pyramid construction is how the Egyptians moved such heavy blocks. Archaeological evidence suggests that workers transported the stones using wooden sledges. Teams of workers would pull the sledges across the sand using ropes. Interestingly, ancient Egyptian drawings show workers pouring water in front of the sledges. This simple technique reduced friction, allowing the sledges to slide more easily across the sand. For long-distance transport, especially from places like Aswan, the stones were loaded onto boats and carried along the Nile River. From there, canals and smaller waterways may have brought the stones closer to the construction site. Building the pyramid. Once the stones arrived at the site, workers had to lift them high into place. Most historians believe the Egyptians used large ramps built from mud bricks and stone. Workers dragged the blocks up these ramps as the pyramid gradually grew taller. There are several theories about how these ramps were built. Some experts believe there was a straight ramp leading up the side of the pyramid. Others suggest zigzag ramps that climbed along the pyramid's edges. Another theory proposes a spiral ramp that wrapped around the pyramid as it rose. While historians still debate the exact method, it is widely agreed that ramps played a key role in the construction process. Incredible precision. Perhaps the most astonishing thing about the pyramids is their precision. The Great Pyramid is aligned almost perfectly with the 4 cardinal directions: north, south, east, and west. Its base is almost perfectly square. The stones fit together so tightly that in many places it is difficult to insert even a thin blade between them. Ancient Egyptian engineers achieved this accuracy using simple tools, careful measurements, and knowledge of astronomy. Their understanding of mathematics and geometry was far more advanced than many people once believed. Why were the pyramids built? The pyramids were not just impressive monuments. They were built as royal tombs for the pharaohs. Ancient Egyptians believed that the pharaoh was a divine ruler who would become a god after death. The pyramid symbolized a stairway to the heavens, helping the pharaoh's spirit ascend to the afterlife. Inside the pyramids were burial chambers, hidden passages, and sacred objects meant to assist the king on his journey to the world of the gods. Conclusion. Today, the pyramids of Egypt remain one of the greatest wonders of the ancient world. For more than 4,000 years, they have stood against the forces of time, weather, and human history. Despite their age, they continue to inspire curiosity and admiration. And while many mysteries remain, one thing is clear: the pyramids were not built by aliens or supernatural forces. They were built by the determination, skill, and ingenuity of ancient Egyptian workers and engineers. Their achievement remains one of the greatest engineering feats ever accomplished by human civilization. And even today, the pyramids still remind us of what humans are capable of creating when vision, knowledge, and teamwork come together.